Welcome, fellow Mooncats. In this reading, we're going to take an exploration with Wolf as our guide. And so I ask you to take a moment now to look at the cards and choose the wolf that feels right for you. Whether that's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, or any combination of those numbers. For those of you who chose wolf number 1, this is going to be your reading. I don't know yet where this journey is going to take us. We're going to pull the cards and see in a minute. I would like to take a moment to just talk about the energy of the new moon, which is present with us on the 21st. And it's a very special new moon. There's a lot of synchronicities here that are calling us to consider a new start, a new direction, and to make plans for that new direction to manifest directly. And so it is both a time of caution and a time of action that begins in retrospection, and this is why we're here. With the wolf as a guide, we're going to take a look at what direction you might be heading toward. Now, with this card in particular, the meaning of it is to be a leader within your community, to take a leadership role within your community. And this would be around some action or some activism that knits everyone together at a higher frequency, like the frequency of love. And this is why the wolf is here on the card with the rose hips. And the rose hips represent, rose hips are the berry of the rose plant. And so because of that association, they represent the energy of love. Okay, so let's see what is in the cards here. So our group number 1 is looking in their community at what are the great needs around them. If you're in group number 1, this is you looking. So our 7 of Wands card is indicating that you're going to need the careful thought and planning as indicated by the energy surrounding this moon, because there may be some resistance to the change that you want to make, and it will be necessary to firmly stand your ground to make this change. And so you are supported in doing that, which is why that card has appeared. Okay. I don't... It feels like initially when you stand up to make this change in the community, there's going to be some resistance. But as you hold your ground and you show the way, you're showing the way through your example. And as you do that, you'll have more and more support within the community. And this is confirmation of your leadership role. But this is going to be leadership. The star 2 is a healing power. And so this is leadership for positive change. And that's more like what you're going to settle into. So we have that 7 of Wands at the start. I'll bring this closer. That 7 of Wands at the start is just a beginning energy. And then what role you settle into is that of the star. A shining example for others. So we have the 7 of Pentacles, which is indicating positive growth over time. With cultivation and effort comes a yield from the crop. Now, Pentacles can directly represent money. I don't know if this will be a monetary endeavor, but Pentacles are also a representative. I feel that the indication here, of course, is also a long-lasting result. So this idea of whatever step you want to take within your community, this is an idea that you've had for a while. Maybe you've been cultivating it. Maybe you've been planning it, imagining it, and it's time to begin it, to take the action, to make the actual plan, and to come forward with it. So this is whatever way it is in which you're hoping to serve the greater good. This is you taking that role within your community, and then you're going to be shining within it. I feel that we have one more card here. Let's see. So it's you're ready to take your place in the community. You're ready to, yeah. And then this is kind of flipped halfway over, but let's go with that. And this is the 3 of Wands card. And again, you kind of see her looking far off into the distance with 3 stable in the ground, firmly planted wands, meaning that she has taken the initial steps and has a strong start and is looking far into the future for the effects, what will come of it. And so this is a strong indication again of a positive outcome to the endeavor. So it's definitely time to stand up and take your place in the professional world, in the community, and how you choose to serve your community. Still feel like there could be one more. I'm going to take a moment for that. Okay. Well, there we go. Oh, that's 2. That's 3. Okay. Okay. So you may find there's a couple of things I'm getting here. One is to remember to keep yourself in balance as you're taking on this incredible endeavor that's going to take place. But I also want you to pay attention to the angel who's here balancing energies, but also bridging heaven and earth. And with that rainbow of enlightenment here, happiness in the sun beyond, the presence of the divine in the lilies. So what we're looking at here, look at all the support in the heavens from all the symbols on the card. Okay, and so what I'm seeing here is an endeavor, the result of your work. It brings temperance to the community. It brings that unification through the energy of love and through the energy of divine love. Not to be too corny about it, but, there it is. Okay. All right, so we're looking at, yeah, whatever this plan is, whatever your role is that you're going to take within your community, it definitely looks like, though there will be some hard work, especially at the beginning, a very positive result and work that you can be very proud of. Okay, so I'm just going to take a look now at some oracle cards. We're going to try and get some... We're going to try and get some more further insights or advice as you walk this path. Okay. All right, I've taken a moment to consider it, and I am going to draw from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. Okay. What's making this a great time for introspection is the presence of this new moon. And so this oracle feels right. We have green corn moon, which reminds us of patience. To have patience. There must be a lot of excitement behind this idea that you have, or this role that you're going to take, and yet it's necessary to plan and build and prepare. And so patience, along with the excitement, that is where temperance again comes in to balance those energies out. Okay, so in the meaning of this card, it reminds us, the analogy is of that fresh growing crop, not yet ready to be harvested, but in growth, in a stage of growth, and that's green corn moon. This calls back the energy of the Seven of Pentacles. And it's to remember to enjoy the journey along the way. If there's something that you're naturally good at, this is, of course, gratifying. And then there's some skills that it takes practice and time and patience to build the talent at that particular skill, or to build that particular ability. So especially even in taking on a new role, there's a lot of new information to learn, but also learning what it means for you yourself to be in that particular role. Let's say you're deciding to be a politician. There are many examples of politicians, but what does it mean to you personally to be in that role? And so there is a lot of... The reminder is that there's a lot of power in patience, because it is through patience that true growth occurs. It's not just taking that instant gratification from an inborn talent. It's being proud of something that took effort, that took dedication in order to create. And so there again we see that presence of that Seven of Pentacles energy in that card. And then I'm going to see if we have maybe another one to come from this deck too. That's 2 cards. We're going to keep going until we have 1. And no worries, because if it is the right card, it does come back out again. I have seen it happen many times. So let's see. Okay. And 2 cards wanted attention. Bad enough to flip over like that. And I wonder if that's the same 2 cards. And okay, this is a reminder to utilize masculine energy. And this is going to be that this might be out of your comfort zone. I feel like it is out of your comfort zone. You may be more comfortable in the planning stages than in the the stages of action. But this is a time to embrace and delve into your masculine energy, which you may even be discovering for the first time, what shape and form that takes or how that looks on you. But this is about taking action out in the world on your idea and bringing it into full manifestation. Remembering, of course, that this is still going to require patience, but that it is time to lean into the masculine side of yourself. And this is regardless of gender. And then we have the card of abundance. And that is just such a beautiful picture of abundance. See if I can get my finger out of the way there a little bit to see that beautiful picture. See that harmonious presence among all the different animals? And that is the same kind of harmonious effect of this work that you're going to do. It is something that's going to unite community. Oops. There we go. Okay. Okay. And so it is, again, this feeling of something that lasts. So this is a powerful thing that you're going to do, because you're creating a lasting change, which brings about a greater sense of security and a sense of shared abundance in the community. And so this is going to be something that creates growth for everyone, not just for yourself, although yourself as well, but for everyone. You're going to make a great change with this work that you're going to do. And I don't see this taking like a patience is required. Hold on. Okay, so as I was saying, all right, that concludes our reading. I wish you well on the path ahead, and thank you for watching. If you're interested in a personal reading, look in the description box and you will see the link to my Calendly page. Once you follow that link, you'll find all the directions on how to sign up for a personal reading there. Thank you again, and thank you again, and I'll catch you in another video. All right, for those of you who chose the wolf pair, this is your reading. And that reading is the Major Arcana Love card. The love card here is indicating a choice to be made. Now, we're using the wolf guidance during the time of this new moon that is going to be with us on the 21st. And the new moon energy coming in is a time to consider a change in direction. So the card of choice makes perfect sense in conjunction with that new moon. And the moon energy tells us that this is a time to be patient, to take time to plan carefully and make careful consideration before we take action. However, it is also a time of action. It is a time of cautious action. Moving ahead. And I'm getting all your cards out now. We're doing the card selection. And oh boy, the cards are really flying out for your reading. This is a strong one. They're really coming out quickly. And there we go. Okay, I hope you can kind of see the layout there, but I'll bring the cards to the camera too. This is an interesting kind of tarot deck because it marries the meaning of the cards, the overall meaning of the cards themselves with an animal spirit. With our first card here, we have the Six of Feathers, represented by the dragonfly. And the dragonfly goes through a lot of changes that are really profound, going from water to land to air, and having to make a lot of evolutionary changes during its lifetime. And so the representation here is transition through insight, the idea of overcoming illusions. And sometimes we get stuck in a hurtful mind pattern, in a negative mind pattern, where we're looking at ourselves in maybe the worst possible way, where we are stuck in this illusion where we don't recognize what is good within. And this is a time where the change that's going to be taking place and the choice that's taking place is to be in a more positive mindset and to rise above that dark illusion and to choose a healing light and a positive thought pattern, a healing thought pattern over that which is destructive. And then what that change does for you is tremendous, because what follows that, we have so many major arcana here in this reading already. What follows that is the sun. The sun has power. It is a powerful card. It is such a powerful card that the joy of the sun overpowers any other cards in the reading. And so whatever is to come, you're finding your way into a true pure happiness that you're going to be able to hold on to. It brings vitality back into your life. Your life is like coming into color again. And as you find this joy and happiness, you're also able to be the star, which means that you become like a shining example for others. So what you're overcoming is of something that is a very deep challenge, something very difficult, but it is with the choice that we choose positivity and we choose positive thoughts and train our mind to positive thoughts. And it's through that choosing that you find your way back into happiness and then become an example, a shining example for others to see. Perhaps in sharing your story and then getting that out there and people see that beauty in you. And so here we see that swan on the card. We're talking about embracing your own inner beauty and in the beauty of who you are and being able to be fully confident in that and fully expressing that. And so we go from those dark destructive thoughts of not being able to even see the goodness in you into a place where you're able to celebrate that goodness. Now, this is followed by a Tower card. And we, in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, you would see the lightning striking the tower and the tower crumbling down. The tower is about a false foundation, and that false foundation has to break apart in this very dramatic way and let loose the new I want to say growth, but you don't grow a tower, you build it. So the new construction. And so that is what's happening for you. You are taking back your power. You're taking back control. You're making that choice to live positively. And it is such a powerful choice that you are able to embrace in such a significant and powerful way, that you're creating this tower that destroys that old negativity. I'm sorry, I should have said tower moment. So that's the old tower that's being destroyed. The tower that was built brick by brick out of negative comment, negative thought, negative experience. And that's the one that's coming down, and absolute and total personal freedom lies ahead for you. And that is represented here by the chameleon. Now we know that the chameleon is famous for its ability to fit into its environment. And you're going to be as fluid as that chameleon, able to sort of blend in anywhere. And I feel like perhaps before that was a difficult thing. You know, wolves run in packs. And if you're drawn to that love card and to the two together, wolves run in packs, and there is a lead, an alpha male and an alpha female. And the alpha male and alpha female will mate for life. And they are like the king and the queen of the pack. And so if you're looking at that love card, it's very significant in multiple ways here, and I'm going to kind of break that down. And so the first thing that is powerful in that card is the love itself. And this is the idea of inner love that is self-love coming forward for you. But I see something more, and I see that alpha male, alpha female, and that unification, that harmony between the two. And that's being able to be harmonized yourself, harmonized and empowered, because it is both sides working together. And that is that creative, imaginative, ruminative side also combined with the ability to take action in the world. And so when you combine those two things, we go out in the world and we make real change. We make real things happen. And so you're being prepared to do that, to go out. And I do think it's going to be tied to something difficult that you've been through, whatever built that negative tower for you, and your ability, your lessons in overcoming that is what is to be shared. And that is going to be the star, that shining example for others to see and to be inspired by. And then the Seven of Feathers is the final card here. And that Seven of Feathers card is about preparation and resourcefulness. Okay, so we can see those keywords on the card: preparation, resourcefulness. And what is known about the cheetah is speed. It's the fastest land animal. Is it 70 miles an hour, I think they can run? So the cheetah here representing two things, speed and instinct. And so this is telling me that you are going to have the ability to quickly prepare for this role that you're taking on as an example for others, and that you are going to be able to adjust quickly to that position and to the skills that are required. And remember that cheetahs are hunters, natural hunters. And what do they rely upon? They rely upon their instinct to achieve that. And so you're going to have the instinctual knowledge on what steps you need to take or how to prepare yourself to take this action. And absolutely what has been achieved emotionally and psychologically is going to become an action that you take into the world. And so that is a beautiful and powerful thing that you have coming. Now, I like to go to the Oracle for a little further advice and clarification, and I'm feeling right now that I'm going to use the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle. So let's do that. Because absolutely this is about faith in yourself. This whole reading is about that faith in yourself. And by the way, when you stand in your light and you have that swan moment as you're embracing the beauty that is within you, then that too can bring in your true partner who will walk with you through life. Remember, as I said, that example of the wolves, the alpha male, the alpha female, this doesn't mean, understand that we talk about alpha personalities and we talk about them being dominating and assertive, and that doesn't necessarily mean that in this case, the alpha male and alpha female are the leaders of the pack. Now, the leaders, it's not meant to define their qualities, just their position. But the leadership can have many different qualities and come from multiple different types of people. So don't feel like you have to be an aggressive person to fit this reading. You do not. The alpha male and alpha female, as I said, they mate for life, and they're leaders of the pack. And they do that together. They work together in leadership. And I feel like you might be meeting this type of partner who is collaborative and harmonious with you, where you're like doing this together. You're in this together. And that's not so. Just have to remind you, this is a collective reading, so that's not going to be for everybody. There are some paths who will walk alone. Okay, we got the word red, and this card is about forgiveness. Okay, let's see what else we get coming up here. Okay, I'll put that over here. Forgiveness has come up. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Forgiveness is a challenge at times. And sometimes we're holding on to grudges. Sometimes you might not even know. I found myself sitting in a quiet moment, and all these memories were coming up. All these memories of times I felt slighted, insulted, or just treated unfairly in general. And one after another memory kept coming up and coming up and coming up, putting me in a bad mood. And then I started to release the memories and give them to spirit to be balanced. And that is a relieving feeling, like letting down a burden. And that is really what forgiveness is just releasing it. It's releasing the emotional attachments that are creating the baggage that is weighing you down. And forgiveness means letting go of the experience, letting go of it and not holding it anymore, not carrying it with you anymore, just letting it go. And so that is a process, not something that can be forced, but it is a process that you have to come to naturally as you're ready. And with this card coming up right now, it so fits the reading so very well, because we're talking about transitioning. Remember that negative tower needs to break down, and part of being able to do that is the act of forgiveness, of releasing the experience, releasing the pain, and walking away and able to feel harmony. So a sense of harmony within. And so sometimes there are people who have been dark enough and bad enough that it's not like you're going to come into a place of love for them, but you can come into a place that is loving for yourself. Loving in a way that says, it's okay that I went through that experience, and in a way that says that you can understand the experience, and then you can find a way to let it go. And remember too, if you're struggling with forgiveness, you can ask for help with that, and the help will be given. And it may be some difficult times. So sometimes when you sit down and the memory comes up and it's like you're going through the experience all over again, and then it's just hard. It's just hard to go through that process. The mind, your emotions, you want to run away from it, find a distraction or find some comfort. But if you can have the patience to sit through and work through that memory, and sometimes it's as simple as imagining a conversation with that person and asking what you need to know and telling what you need to say. Sometimes people don't allow you that kind of closure in life or in the actual world, and so you have to just heal it yourself, and do that through the power of your thought, the power of imagination, and it does work to heal those moments. So as we come into this place of healing, and there's so much indication of that here, coming into the healing and your personal power, your personal beauty, the full beauty of who you are. And then how fitting is this final oracle card here saying, this is your garden and something lovely will grow from this. You know, your life is your garden. Something lovely will grow from the pain that you've been through. I see that sword stabbed into the earth. It distracted me for a moment. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking of that pain, but I'm also thinking about how swords represent truth in the tarot. And so finding the truth in the pain, finding the truth and harvesting. When you go through something hard or difficult or terrible, the best way to balance that out is by harvesting what can grow from it, what creates growth, what creates positive movement and change. And so if you can do that, if you can find that, that balances out the negativity. Okay, so this is the I want to say this is the challenge that's facing you. This is an exciting challenge. And this is a moment where your work is, your hard internal work, your spiritual work is paying off in a beautiful, beautiful bounty. And you're going to find strength in this. And you're going to reunite with your instinct. And you're going to have the ability to appreciate yourself and share that path of beauty and joy with others. And so what a wonderful task that lies ahead of you. This concludes your reading and for this little adventure. And I just want to say thank you for watching. I always appreciate my viewers. If you are interested in a personal reading, I'm now offering that. And you can find the link to my Calendly page in the description below. Otherwise, I wish you well along the way. And I hope to catch you in another video. For those of you who chose wolf number 3, this is your reading. And we're looking at the guidance of the wolf as the new moon will be with us on the 21st. And this wolf guidance is as a spiritual teacher. I'm looking here at this card. In this particular card, there's a lot going on here. I'm going to go ahead and bring that closer. Okay. So the card is one keyword. The keyword is instinct. And we see a representation of goddess energy here. We see the moon. We see the symbol of water. And this is all about psyche and intuition, following your instinct, letting your instincts guide you. The wolf is known to be a pathfinder or a trailblazer, able to make their way through the wilderness. They're also known to be untamable, to have a wildness within. And this is that ability to trust your own instinct over and above those who would try to dominate or control you, over and above those who might stifle your freedom. And so this card is telling me that our reading today is going to be all about you finding your true path forward, your true pathway in life. And that's very very much in alignment with this new moon energy coming in. There are a lot of synchronicities with this new moon, and they point to having patience and foresight, planning carefully as you take a new course of action. And so this is going to be finding your way through the wilderness, as it were, finding your way to your true path in life. Okay, so now I'm going to take a moment to choose which tarot cards to use here. And so give me just a moment as I do that. All right, we're going to use the Phantomwise Tarot by Erin Morgenstern. Let's go ahead and pull that out. See a slight bend in the cards. I'm going to try to work that out a little bit. All right. Okay, let's begin. That was quick. All right, the Knight of Swords coming in quickly. Okay, this is like, once you know the truth, charging forward with it. Into a new direction. So this is, wow. And with that griffin too, with the winged griffin as well, I feel like a divine purpose coming in. And the truth of that divine purpose coming in sets you on that new path, the Fool's Journey. Now, the important thing with the Fool's Journey is that it's begun in an innocent way, which means the baggage, all baggage, is left behind. I'll tell you something about this card that is disturbing me right now. Just looking at this very carefully, it is hard to tell if that girl is coming or going. It's a little strange, something about that illustration. Perhaps at the beginning, that's unknown. Perhaps you don't know if you're going or coming or going. And that's what the Fool's Journey is about. It's taking a leap of faith without, even if you don't have all the information. That isn't to say that you won't be cautious or you won't take the time to do that, because you see that Hermit card following. So that Hermit card is like, okay, I've made the commitment to walking down this path, and now I'm going to learn about it. There's scholarship in the Hermit. Okay. I'm really focused on the idea of juggling with the Two of Pentacles. So we can often say that it's a struggle, it's ambivalence, or a struggle to choose. And yet, that's not what I'm intuiting so much. What I'm intuiting here is the juggling aspect. This juggling of multiple things at once. Oh, okay. Okay. And then we have the High Priestess. And finally, the Sun. And so if you're at all familiar with tarot, then you know that this is a very fortunate reading. And what you're looking at here is perhaps your pathway involves divine knowledge, because the High Priestess seems to be the goal you're aiming towards. And the High Priestess is a bridge between heaven and earth. A bridge between opposites as well. And she sits on her throne in wisdom. We see her open book there to represent that. She sits in feminine power, divine feminine power, and as an empowered woman, or the empowered feminine side. So again, you could be any gender and be in High Priestess energy. It's being powerfully insightful. Is the way, I hope that's coming across. So this is something that's earned, something that's developed over time. We see that in the Hermit card, that there's going to be a commitment to this, and it's like a sudden idea or a sudden knowledge, a sudden knowing, and that's what we have here with the Knight of Swords. So knights bring us in, they're carriers of the message, and they're bringing in the message from the divine. And we see a lot of reference to divine presence here, because this particular knight isn't riding a horse. This particular knight is riding a griffin. And that sword is pointing straight ahead and ready to charge forward, ready to go, with that sword in hand. So with the truth being known, with the truth being understood, following your instincts, it's going to be a strong, powerful, instinctual knowledge. Then you know to take that path, to take the leap of faith with your heart fully committed to it. So that's the thing about the Fool card. They're not doubting or questioning. So normally that Fool is walking towards the edge of the cliff. The point of that isn't to show that the Fool is doomed. It is to show that the Fool does not concern themselves with the dangers or the setbacks or the negative reasons to not do something. They don't concern themselves with that. They plunge forward wholeheartedly with the full expectation that it's going to work out. And in so doing, you're in a path that's going to require some study. Whatever path lies ahead of you is going to require some time in study or contemplation. And it seems that it is a divine outcome because we do have that high priestess there. And ultimately, the card at the end is so important because it is the Sun card. And the Sun is the happiest card in the deck. It's extremely powerful card. It has the power to overpower. Forgive my repetitive. To overpower any other card in the deck. And so that Sun moment, or when you're living in that energy of this Sun card, you're living in this beautiful when you're living in this Sun energy, you're living in this beautiful time where you feel in harmony, there is creation, it is happy, it is joyous, it is the most positive outcome that there is. And so when you know your path, when you find it, when you're studying it, you're leading yourself into this incredible joy, this beautiful card of happiness. Okay. So it seems that it's going to be very important for you to overcome. You must overcome the negative comments of other people. It's going to be a very important skill for you to master that, where you don't allow that negativity to get into your mind or to change what you know is true. Your instincts must trump. Your instincts must overpower any comment that a person might make to you, or any opinion that someone else might express. You're to trust your instincts more than that. Okay, so at this point, what I like to do is to choose an oracle card, and I'm going to take a moment now to consider which oracle do we want to choose. Which oracle deck would work well here? All right, I'm going to use the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. All right, if you haven't had that moment of realization yet, do not be alarmed. A breakthrough is at hand. That moment is coming. That moment is near. I talked at the beginning about the wolf. It's interesting. I talked about the wolf as an animal known to be a trailblazer. And here we have the title of this card, Breaking Trail. And so there is something you're doing that might have that essence to it, creating a new way for people to go, finding a new way of perhaps connection to the divine, to bring a unification between heaven and earth, to build a bridge between heaven and earth. Something along those lines. You're reminded, okay, this is a callback to all the messages here about instinct. It says staying focused, hold the course. So again, regardless of what anyone might say to you, remember to hold on to your choices and the reasons that you've made them and what you know is true about them. So don't let anyone else define it for you. Okay. And, wow. Okay. So you're probably going to be spending some time in hermit mode. Hermit mode is when we go into contemplation and study. This says finding sanctuary. So there's a suggestion here to do that. And then opening your spiritual source. Opening to your spiritual source. Sometimes it amazes me how well all the cards do fit together. And this is one of those times where it fits so well, because we were talking about this new path that you're going down, or breaking trail. We're talking about trusting your instincts, the staying focused card. And finally, at the end, we talked about this is leading you into like a high priestess energy or some kind of role like that. And the key to it all is opening to your spiritual source. So here I see a lot of unification in this reading. And I hope you are seeing that too. And I hope that it's inspiring to you. But this will conclude your reading for this session. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed your reading today. And if you have, and if you're interested in a personal reading, then if you check the description down below, you will see a link to my Calendly page. And then on the Calendly page, there are detailed instructions on how to schedule a personal reading. I wish you well along your way, and hope to catch you in another video. For those of you who chose the fourth wolf, this is your reading. And welcome to your reading for the new moon that is going to be with us on Sunday the 21st. And we're following the wolf spirit guidance, because at this time, this new moon has a particularly interesting energy. There are a lot of synchronicities happening at this moment with this new moon. And those synchronicities are pointing to a time that is ripe for personal evaluation, and especially evaluation of our choices and our direction. And so we're going to look for guidance with that. And for this wolf, it felt right to turn to the forest. And so that's what we're going to do with this tarot here. You're facing a lot of challenges, or you're coming from or out of a challenging moment at this time. And it seems that in particular, this challenge is dealing with your security feeling threatened, or your security being made insecure, as they come in and steal. They're stealing your belongings or what you treasure. this can be like an energy vampire stealing your energy and causing difficulty in the foundation, your foundational chakras. Okay, and so we have suspension following that. This in particular is a time to gain a new perspective, perhaps having a realization about the people that are around you and whether or not they are healthy for you, taking some time to evaluate your relationships and yourself, and that this is feeling to me like a healing energy in this card. And so I'm feeling like there's healing taking place as you gain a new perspective here. Okay, I'm going to wait to interpret this card until I see some context. Let's see what comes forward from that. Okay, so the Lover's card a long time ago used to be called the Choice. And this is about making a choice. Okay, so that makes sense. It's about making a choice of which path to take. And this makes you become a seeker. And in this card, we have the Seeker of, oh, there we go, Seeker of Spells. Okay. I see that foxway in the background representing your perceptiveness, your ability to see through to the truth, to see through cunning behavior to the truth. And we see like this beautiful flower here that she's come upon in the cave. So she comes through this cave, the deep, dark places, and finds this beautiful blooming flower. It's a unique flower. It's unique. It's fragile in that it's rare to exist, and then it is also just intensely beautiful. And so what she's finding here deep within the forest is a discovery of this secret beauty that is blossoming there. And so this is what is happening with you as you're freeing yourself from those energies that are drawing from you, that which is taking away from you, that which has been attacking your foundational energies and making you feel insecure. And as you are able to contemplate what's been going on around you and who has been making you feel this way, and then you're able to make a new choice, and with that new choice discover that there is something beautiful growing inside of you, something that you perhaps haven't been entirely aware of. And then let's see what comes next. And okay, this card we have the Ten of Visions. This is a blessing of unicorns in this beautiful setting amongst the cherry blossoms and There's a waterfall into a clear pool nearby. They're representing here it's not so much material wealth and abundance as it is that the spiritual side of life, where you are experiencing a great sense of well-being and a great sense of comfort. And this is looking like a small family. Okay. That does make me go back to the Lover's card for a moment and wonder if there's more to it. Not only are you choosing your own path, but perhaps choosing your partner too. And then you begin to accept this beauty within and nurture this beauty within, acknowledge this beauty within in the discovery of it. And it leads you into this wonderful place of personal security and this sense of well-being. And they are comfortable in their beauty, these unicorns. And so I see that in your development or in your process here. So something has been taking that away from you. Okay, and I'm looking at the 2 end cards. Something has been taking this away from you. But this is rightfully yours. It is rightfully your place to be in this sense of well-being. And so that which was taken away will be found again as you discover that beauty within in that moment. Okay, so I'm going to take a moment now to choose some oracle cards, as I like to do that. I'm going to choose some oracle cards to help with this reading and perhaps give some advice. And I think I already know which ones I want to choose. We're going to do the Soul Helper Oracle. I guess this had grippers on the sides. There we go. Okay, let's mix these up. Follow the path of your soul. Do not allow anyone or anything to stop you. Okay, this is very similar to another reading from these wolves. Which one was that? Okay, well, the advice is very similar here, which is that above anything that anyone would have to say, whether they want to tell you how to do what you want to do, or the way that it has to be, or has to feel, or whatever you might know about it, more important than any comment anyone would make, or any judgment anyone would make, is your instinctual guidance. And this is a reminder to stay true to that, and then to find and follow the true path of your soul. Okay, that took a minute. Your advice here is to rise above the dark days of your life. Do not fight them, but have faith that the light will always return. So if you're going through hard times or betrayals or something that is leaving you in a place of sorrow, do not feel like you have to pretend that you're not having those feelings. In fact, there's a saying that the only way out is through. And so the only way out of the dark emotions is to get through them. Allow them to be, give them space to be, that it is okay to be, and then find a way to release those feelings or release the experiences that you've had or any resentments that it's left you with. It's only by dumping the baggage that you can begin the fool's journey. I know we don't have that card here, but I think it's good advice in this situation. It's a cleansing. It's a cleansing before you take on what might be a spiritual path. Whatever that flower represents to you, it's when you look within and you remember this skill, talent, ability that you have. You remember something it may be in your reality or your way of looking at things that you used to want, and then you're going to realize that it was always there. Okay, that's kind of what it's saying here. Recognize despair as an opportunity. Within it, you will find the gift of awakening. Okay. I would never push anyone to do that too soon. You do that on your own time. But the idea here is how to balance out a negative experience. How do you balance out pain and suffering? How do you balance out an unjust situation? And the best way to do that is to find what can be treasured or what can be valued from having gone through that experience. So if you can find that moment, then you find yourself able to release what the experience was like, and able to release anything that you've been left holding on to. All right, so that concludes our reading for this new moon energy. I hope that you enjoyed your reading, and if you did, and if you're interested in a personal reading, then check the description box below, and in it you will find the link to my Calendly page. And then on that page, you will find detailed instructions on how to schedule a reading. I hope to see you soon in another video, and I wish you well along your way. Thank you for watching.